Hello and welcome to the easiest online lead generation framework to quickly drive 5 to 25 qualified leads every day. This is me, Jan Rognerud, at Jan Rognerud on Twitter and elsewhere. There are a few steps to get there, so I'm going to take you through it here today, and I'm very excited about it, and I think you will be too. And I'm going to dive right in here, and this is just from experience in the marketplace, being doing this for over a decade now. You have many problems as business owners and entrepreneurs. We have them all the time. That's our job, to solve problems, but it can get a bit too much. And here's just a list of the most common, and you can check off yourself here. You'll probably identify with a number of these. So the first one is obvious. This is what this session is all about: generating high quality leads with predictability. And I added volume here as well. So not just one or two, but 3, 5, 10 every day that are actually of quality. Skeptical to marketing and lead generation. You know, you've been burned by so-called gurus and highly hyped or touted programs. Sorry about that. And sales follow-up, so I get leads in, but how do I actually manage all this activity? The obvious here also in the category of just failed attempts in the past, failed advertising in many channels, right? How does this stuff work? Does it actually work? And also getting into measuring results. So all the activity, traffic, calls, downloads, activity, how do you measure and track all this to sales that are actually closed? The whole funnel, the activity, the user experience, the customer journey. Many fancy words here. It's really just simply from the first step to the last step. What are we doing? What's happening? And can we track all this? And you're in business to solve problems, as I mentioned before, and you have, various experiences. You have degrees, diplomas, college, universities, MBAs, etc. This is what you went to school for, and you don't want to be or sound like a pushy salesperson. I understand that completely. Believe you me, and it's very, very common. Stressing over social media. I don't have enough friends out there, or followers, or likes, or tweets, retweets, shares, all of that. You're just really stuck on the social media statistics, which, by the way, you'll see makes no sense, but we'll get to that later. And in general, as I said, overwhelm, plus just get really clear on your business goals and scaling those. And, additionally, how do you actually implement all of this into a system or a process, and how do you get time to do it all? So, staffing, resources, help, all of that. And of course, budgeting, taking care of all of this so that it makes sense within an ROI focused lead generation, growth building business. So if that's not enough, I'm sure you have your own list there and you can add to this, but this is the most common right here. These are the top 10. So here's what most business owners do in your field, and that is, I have heard that LinkedIn works great, so I'm just going to go ahead and fix my profile, add the business pages out there. I'm going to join a number of groups. I'm going to search. I'm going to join Sales Navigator. I'm going to use InMail. I'm going to run LinkedIn ads. You just start hitting that platform pretty hard. Same here with Facebook. Business page, profiles, setups, running targeted Facebook ads, testing Messenger Direct and Messenger bots. It's a very popular right now on Facebook. Another one, Twitter. Need to get that set up. I may consider advertising in that platform. Start doing hashtag searches, local searches, doing market research and using Twitter to just push out a number of blogs that go nowhere. YouTube. And by the way, I'm going to be listing a lot of these here because we get this all the time. I see it all the time. It's what you're thinking right now. I've heard a friend or an associate, or I read something in a local newspaper or a magazine from my industry that YouTube is just killing it right now. I'm going to set that up, get the profile going, get advertising going. And yes, you can advertise directly on Google. Many don't know that, or YouTube through Google AdWords, and start, perhaps bidding for competitive channels. You can actually buy channels and run ads on there. Start pushing out educational videos, which, by the way, is a very positive thing. But again, this is not really where you need to start. Neither is Google AdWords, keywords and ads, landing pages, display network. Google search, SEO, of course, very much favor this. I wrote 3 books about this for Entrepreneur Magazine and been doing this since 1996, if you can believe it. Very early stage, but a very great platform or a great strategy to use for long-term, ongoing, evergreen traffic that really can convert well. It's the highest trusted click out there. And while it's not free because you have to work on it, it does have a very high ROI potential. So fixing your on-page code, HTML and content, running backlinks back into your site. Of course, SEO is all about keywords, content, and backlinks. You know, pushing out content through blogging, social media sharing, promoting, all of this activity that belongs into that category. Again, not undermining any of these, but I'm listing these because this is where you are struggling right now. And I'm telling you, it's the wrong place to start. We keep going here. Networking. And in your industry, this is actually a very positive thing. Going out and shaking hands. You know, people join BNIs around the country. Chamber of Commerce's get into local events and speaking there, local sponsorship. Direct mail, every door direct mail. It's actually a fantastic service if you didn't know about it. That whole concept is viable, but you have to know what you're doing. Clearly, purchasing lists, of course, you have low or no tracking, low or no calls. Retargeting, very advanced strategies for advertising, but it works fantastic when done right. But you might be struggling with this, you know, Facebook Pixel, just look it up on Google. How does this all work? How does it tie into conversions? Get a system in place, build landing pages. Pinterest, same thing, build out a profile, set up boards, join the network, start advertising. Niche site advertising and memberships, right? So for your industry, it would be custom advertising and banners placed on other relevant sites and magazines. It doesn't have to be all online, right? Graphics and working on your positioning. Same with website design and creatives. All that inbound traffic activity, where is it going? How do you get that? Branding materials, making sure that site is mobile friendly, very important. You've seen it, you know it. Google talks about this all the time. Mobile traffic has overtaken desktop search. And that means all of this needs to be search friendly. And of course, within your website, you need lead capture, you need a call to action, you need to track all of this and build it into a conversion strategy that actually works for you. We keep going here. Email marketing, building out sequences, follow-ups, autoresponders, newsletters, conferences and events, very important. Getting out there and networking and speaking and attending those conferences and events, and even putting on your own events. Brown bag lunches, very strategic and important initiative that you can use and likely are already using, but you're doing it wrong. Referrals, incentives for getting that started and for continuing that, and of course a system to get all of this going. We keep going here. Funnel software and CRM. Here are just some of the tools that we use, and others I used to in the marketplace. ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft, Marketo, HubSpot, Pardot, ActiveCampaign. There's many in this space, but clearly this can get very, very overwhelming and also expensive. Live streaming, BeLive.tv, great service. You may have tried it. Facebook Live themselves out there very much in the marketplace. Webinars, GoToMeeting, Zoom.us, great service, by the way, with a Facebook live stream option as well. So you can go direct into a webinar and with the Facebook live stream for direct commenting and updates. Very, very creative way to do this. So here's the thing. I'm going to stop with this because we could keep going with that forever, but I just want to make this very clear. I hear this all the time. We see it all the time. How do I get more leads? I need to get on LinkedIn ASAP. I need to do YouTube videos. I'm not going to belabor the point here. We've covered this. But you've seen a lot of the options that you can do for your business. And if you're already in several of those channels and it's working for you, good job. It means that you can optimize and tune that more. But that's not what this video is about. I just want to get to this main point. And I repeated that 3 times because it's all worthless without one critical thing. And you may be wondering, what is this? Words. How basic is this? This is getting back to the drawing board in a big way. You've probably not taken a copywriting course or, learned how human psychology works for communicating online and generally in any setting, right? Well, that's okay because you didn't go to school or to college or to university to any special degree or gotten any special degrees to handle this. So this is going to be refreshing for you to learn how to start this. And it's very simple, although it can get complex. So, simple is not necessarily easy, right? As the expression goes. So if we break this down further, it's just really three things that you need to look at. And they're quite simple, actually. It's 1, 2, 3 here. You need to be very clear on who your market is. What is your market? That is your who. So identifying your market, and you may be thinking, well, that's easy. I'm in this business and I can target, I'm in X business and I'm targeting Y businesses out there or individuals. Well, it gets beyond that. We need to move a lot closer to the real true market identification. But just simply, who is it? So if I ask you, who are you servicing? We need to get very, very specific. You can't be generalizing and say it's the, X industry, and that's it. We need to drill this down further. Message creation. What are you saying? And what are you saying at what times, right? This is very, very key right here, and this gets very much into the words concept that I just brought up a minute ago. Platform selection, this is what I covered. Number 3 here, that's the one where we talked about LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all of these platforms that people get sucked into, which, by the way, are important. I'm not undermining this at all, but it's in the wrong sequence, and people get focused on the shiny objects, right? You heard about it, the shiny object syndrome. So let's think about this. If that's the case, and the lie is number 3, the platforms, this is where they say do that and you'll have success. Well, we need to actually step back. And so what we do here is we really consider our copy and our positioning to be the thing that matters the most. So getting your message, your copy, your ads, your USP right, that is your unique selling proposition or your unique value proposition right, that's everything. So if you consider Mark Twain here, I just love this quote. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. So if you're like everybody else, not the place to be, not where you want to go, and not why you're on this presentation here today. So here's how to start, and I'll give you the checklist and the download for this for free as well, so no worries, but I'll just kind of go through it very quickly here. So what you need to do is you enter the conversation going on in their head, and yes, it is mindset. So I was just talking to a fellow prospect in the market just a few days ago, and this person said, hey, I need more leads. I need to grow my business. I don't know where to start. I've tried a number of things. I've covered a few of these in this video, but basically I never heard or understood who they were trying to address and what their goals were, right? So who are you addressing? And the easiest way to do this is to enter the conversation already going on in their head. So here's some examples and some questions to ask. This is part of that checklist, and you'll get this for free here as well. What keeps them awake at night? What is it that, you with a sweat staring at the ceiling, right? What are they afraid of? What are they angry about? Who are they angry at? That's kind of an interesting angle to that. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? So for your market, what is it, 1 through 3 that they're mostly frustrated about? What trends are occurring and what will occur in their business or lives? What do they secretly, ardently desire the most? And here's where a lot of folks just simply think, hey, they need to have my service so I can solve their financial needs or their legal needs. Or any other sort of transformational aspect of their business or their lives. Well, it actually goes beyond that. So this gets your mind and your messaging open to a much wider conversation. Is there a built-in bias to the way they make decisions? For example, engineers, they're exceptionally analytical. Do they have their own language? Who else is selling somewhat similar or something similar to them, and how? Who else has tried selling them something similar, and how has that effort failed? You can clearly see how this is really digging into the personas, the demographics, the psychographics of the person, and how that may be something that you likely have not addressed in your business. You've been sucked into perhaps, and I see this a lot, yeah, I got a great new website, fancy logos, nice colors, new fresh images on the front, a huge sliding banner on my homepage on the website with a big, sort of 2-3 word statement that says we are great. This is just all wrong, and most people don't know this, and frankly it's not their business to know it because you're in the business of servicing in your professional field, but this is just very, very wrong. And web designers, for instance, it's not their fault either because they're going by their standards and what's working for them, and they have bills to pay and you have just paid them. But this is not where you need to go. You need to go through this list, and again, I'm providing this for free for you, and start answering these questions. And for instance, driving traffic to a landing page, and the landing page, by the way, is just another website page that's uniquely tailored to a specific problem or a situation. That's exactly what you need. So you drive it with copy, that is the message again, that resonates and solves the problem. So it's not the general message to the world for everything, to do everything for everybody. It's very, very specific. And an example of a nice landing page would be something like this. You have a header, a strong header that is an emotional draw, with a subsequent secondary headline, some text, some bullets, a call to action there, number 5 and number 6. We want to show credentials, logos, testimonials, that type of stuff, some additional information. Number 8 there in the middle, that could be a video, that could be a product, that could be a download to an ebook, that type of stuff. And of course you have some links around the page to support it for further navigation. This has been true, tried and tested. I don't see this done a lot in your industry. This is something that you could consider doing right now. And of course you need targeted traffic to get to it, which we will get to later. But now that you understand how important a message is and how you position it, you've really done 60% of the work right here. So just to summarize, I don't want to go too long on this presentation, but you need to be very specifically clear on your USP, or your value proposition. Sales value proposition is what that is, and that is not be, you can be generic in the field of legal, financial, architectural, healthcare, but then you drill down and you actually specify or get specific on what you are doing differently, why they should choose you over anybody else, and then you actually tailor that straight to your market, very specifically so, drilling it down, and then of course I mentioned the words, how important that is. That is your message, and message is not one message, it's messages, right? Because we're going to niche this up, we're going to divide this up, we're going to chunk it down, as it were, so that you get very clear, and you'll have many of these messages out there for each marketplace. So again, if you're in legal services, it's not just legal services or financial services, it's very specific to that demographic, and then we drill those down. So after this is all done, this is where it gets exciting. Now you can select your platform, where does that audience hang out? So if it's Facebook, it's Facebook, you can run ads, or if it's LinkedIn, most likely in your case it will be, well then we choose that. Then we systematize all of this, and then we track everything. So everything is locked into a nice system that you can track and just simply go to a dashboard and get to. Now, you don't have to start with all of this fancy dashboards and daily reporting. If you're a smaller business, you can start much simpler, because frankly there's going to be a lot to consider here as you dive in. But I hope this has been helpful, and I really have enjoyed making this for you. So if you like this, I have some free training to really drill this down further and show you how you can make systems out of this and how you can apply it for your professional services business and for your practice. So I would like to see you there if you take time. I only open this once every other week or every other month, depending on where I'm at and traveling and speaking, etc. But I would ask you to register for the free training. I don't actually do this as a public forum, so I'm not showing this anywhere else. I'd like to share it with you, and I hope you join me. Plus, when you click in here, I'm going to send you that checklist and some additional information to kind of help you get started on how to really work with words and how to position your brand in a much stronger way. And of course, when we are talking about words, just to sort of summarize this here, we are not just simply talking about messages that sell. We're talking about messages that educate, messages that inspire, and messages that help. So there's many ways to do this, as you've seen, but I hope to see you on the free training. So if you like this, go ahead and register right now, and I'll talk to you soon. Jan Ragnerud is out. Take care.